Yo, okay. Another one. Okay. Um, yeah, again, I'm not sure if the audio for the screen is coming out nicely, but I'm assuming it's there. Even if it's not there, it's okay. So one of the things that's been a challenge for me is playing against this English long bowman. I think I've played against. I think I've played 2 games where the op had a real strong. I mean, they know how to play with England. Real strong op that played long bowman, and I just couldn't do anything against them. I'll show you another game that me and my brother played against a group that had long bowman set up. One guy and the other guy was Abbasid. The Abbasid guy, he came very late in the game, but it was literally this guy that sort of did most of the damage to us. Now, if I look at this long bowman, let's take the most advanced one. He's got a. If I look at the complex setup on the right here, right? So he's got a tile range of 7, and he's light melee infantry. He's got +9 against them, and so forth. Okay. His attack is 9, also versus light melee infantry. Yeah. So basically what we talked about just now. Now, if you look at what supposedly counters these guys, the counter is apparently horsemen. They're countered by horsemen. And for the past 2 occasions where I've played against long bowmen, I've had a horse composition and it didn't even touch them. So I want to take a look at what happened in the game. The other thing that I'm thinking of potentially doing, because the game that I played in, I had Mali. And I had quite a composition, quite a good javelin composition. And according to this stats, it's an anti-range specialist, and they come with an extended ranged armor. They +8 versus ranged, and they've got a 6 tile distance. So I understand they've got a 6 tile distance. They +8 versus range. So +8 versus ranged. Okay. So let me go back to England quickly and go back to that Bowman. That Bowman, according to this thing, which I know a lot of people say it doesn't work, they've got a +9 versus infantry, and I don't know what their attack points is against supposed javelin throwers. Okay, so let's go to that game that we played, and so let's take a look. 4v4, the pit, me and my bro. Now my brother's is pretty good player. He's carried us in many games, and he's a decent player. This ZH guy really, I mean, it was the second time I lost against long bowman to late in the game. So they had flaming arrows. They had about 25 archers, and I couldn't do anything. It says they counted by horsemen, and yeah, I was in both occasions. It never worked. So okay, so let's take a look and see if we can spot something that I could have done differently. And there's a couple of other things I want to talk about other than just the Bowman, but yeah. So as it loads, yeah, guys, hopefully you guys gonna enjoy this one. Hopefully it's a useful one for my crew to watch. We do tend to do videos like this and sort of watch it and just understand whether there is something that we can do about it. Okay, so got a ×8 that you can see. It's quite a long game. It was a 14-minute match. Yeah, For now, I mean, typical Mali opening, making sure that I get my gold mine set up. Um, Obviously, very strong in collecting my hood. And my brother, same story. He's collecting a trade between gold and hood. So there wasn't anything untoward about the start. I think it was relatively normal. I do want to take a look at what this guy's busy with though, and what this guy starts off with. Typical composition. He went for the farmlands. That's a very weird composition. He went up for the town hall, which is, I think he started off saying that he's going to play an archery range setup. Bunkers down on his gold. And just getting a little bit more houses so he can get his population mass out. Okay. Ottomans over here, he gets scouted a bit. I'm sorry, episodes. He has a little bit of he gets out for a little bit defensive units, so he can sort of do something with that, and then just plays a typical normal episode game. At this stage, I was being under pressure by an archer range team. Ray decided early was going to go on stone. Okay, that was interesting. And yeah, I was really trying to focus on that. But I mean, I think at this stage, I went Danzo and I realized, look, I need to switch it up. I need to go archery range. I'm going to slow things down a bit. I need to go archery range because I'm playing up against archers. And yeah, the Danzos that I started to line up, I mean, it wasn't really going to counter me against anything. My brother, he's playing French, so he was obviously going to go spearman. Sorry, horses. And I think that's maybe why Op decided to push a bit hard on spearman, which is probably the right play. Now at this point, I was sort of trying to do something, but I was being peppered a lot. Oh, and I really was being peppered a lot. He had a good amount of Bowman. I asked my brother to come assist here. He's busy walling up nicely. I mean, green is not doing too much. He's trying to age up, and yeah, that was the end of that thing. And then it was, dub setting. So that was a good play. That was a good teamwork play there. Probably had the wrong composition, pushing him with that much Danzos. But yeah, I need to make sure I scout and understand what my opposition is doing. Yeah, he's got this Bowman here. I should have probably just rushed it, but at this point in time, I can finish getting my wall up, which I felt for me was essential. Okay. He's busy walling up, and then he's going for a white tower. Yeah, just more defensive buildings. Yeah, let's see how well that plays out. Now, I'm sitting happy. I'm 2 TC at this stage. Let me just pause it here and just see what the collected resources look like. You can see on gold I'm boosting, on hood I'm boosting, on meat I'm sort of slightly just behind the top player. So from an eco point of view, there's not really much complaints I can go with. I'm 2 TC at the moment. Op is largely both on 1 TC. My bro is, sorting himself out. I was in a good spot. Looking at the total villager count, he was sort of in and around there between, again, sitting on about roughly about, what's that, about 26, 28, 32. Again, also about, we were sitting good. We were sitting good. I didn't need to go in gold because of the pit mines. And if you look at my collected resources for gold, I'm, still better than what Op has been at that point in time. So for me, I'm sitting in an okay spot here. And maybe I should have thought about scouting the Op a bit more. Op is going for for his, he's got long Bowman here. How much does he have? So, yeah. So what does Op have? Ops, he's kind of bunkering down a bit. He's got 7 long rangemen. That's about it. Plus Bowman, and he's aging up. But I mean, I think at this point in time, we've got a tendency. I mean, I lost my scout here at this point, and I probably should have brought my scout on. And one of the things I probably should always try and do is try and always scout. Always scout. Don't be afraid to scout. Don't be afraid to scout, man. There's no reason to be afraid to scout. Like, if your scout is up and he works, and he works. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Simple as that. Typical trade network going, same as on my side. I've got them, a lot of them queued up. I mean, we're in a position, the game is pretty much fairly in the balance. Sorry. Let's speed it up and see how the game plays out now. Now, at this point in time, I should have probably realized, look, this guy's probably going to play a Bowman game. Let me go for, a combination that can actually suit for that. Trying to spread my resources out because I'm going to be playing a Watson game here. Cow boom game. So I'm trying to get it set up. This guy is actually really listening to me a lot. So my baby's listening to me sitting on my lap. Okay, so I've got a decent amount of setup here. I'm starting to go heavy in my archer ranges, and so I'm going, a combination of Dan's archer. I think my brother decides to take center. Yeah, he's throwing some buildings there. My brother makes the move and says, he's going to take center. Big sort of army being developed from my teammate here. Yeah, so yeah, baby, still listening to me? Thanks. So yeah, so my brother decides to take middle, and I think it was the right move. I mean, came accounted green. He actually asked me, listen here, dude, are you ready to attack here? And I was like, okay, I'm not really ready. And I kind of was sort of undecided as to what I'm doing. I'm going for the javelin throws, which I think is an okay move. But we kind of forced the player. And again, this time, what I wanted to try and I want to do this later, but they're up to something, and I realized they're up to. I got my javelin throwers, which, yeah, I guess it was probably okay when we had the composition that was relatively well set up. But with this much Bowman, how much Bowman is he sitting on? 19 Bowman and growing, compared to my 9 javelin throwers. It is a mismatch at this stage. I've got Danzos that I've lined up. And look, depending on the situation, yeah, I think I should have probably tried to play I should have probably tried to go for a what's the name composition, like a Danzo Archer composition. Sorry, Javelin Archer composition, or just go full Javelin. If I look at my resources, I mean, I'm sitting on a decent amount of resources. I've got resources sort of all over the show because I'm aging up. Sorry, this guy. There we go. There we go. I've got my resources sort of spread out. Sorry, my baby wants my keyboard, but he knows he can't get hold of that. Okay, grab that one over there. Grab that one over there. Yeah. Take this one over there. There we go. There we go. You sorted? Where are you going? All right, anyway. So, yeah, and also I'm doing a thing. Look, I've committed to a lot of different building, a lot of different units on my side. What units? I'm talking about what's in buildings. So, yeah, and I try to play that javelin throwing game against these raged units. I shouldn't have gone Danzos. I should have committed fully into Archer Rangers. And by this time, he's committing to playing this particular game. And me and my brother, again, I'm really losing here. And it's because he's got that Archer Rangers. I should have stacked up. You know? And another thing I realized that I came a bit late with Siege. He's got Siege here, and that Siege weapon is really causing problems. I'm going to keep it here. My composition, my units look good. Abbasid's looking really strong. My brother's sort of in a good spot as well. And I mean, careful. Come out there. Good job. So, everything's kind of set up for me to play. Okay, I'm gonna go to my Archer Rangers quickly. And I have to take a look at the javelin throwers. It's 80-40, and I'm realistically I'm in a position to be able to mash these guys. Op is not playing horses, although Abbasid, that army that they had got wiped. They do have a diverse set of armies.